Hello everyone, my name is MrNJersey and welcome to my channel. In this video we are back with another Stormworks feature poll. Now it's been a few months since we had the last feature poll and we've already seen some of these features being implemented here in Stormworks. We're going to have a little bit of a chat and go over the new features that you can go and vote for here today. But before we get started, if you are enjoying these videos, don't forget that like and subscribe button and remember to click the little bell icon to be notified of my upcoming content as soon as it gets posted. And while you're watching, let me know your thoughts in the comments below and what else you'd like to see in my future videos. So that all said, let's get straight into it and get started with this video. So it's that time again for another Stormworks feature poll. Now, we've already seen a lot of these features from previous polls, and I think the last one was back in June, actually make their way into Stormworks. Now, just a heads up, this video is going to be more of like a talking head video, so if you guys just want to go and minimize this and do something else, go for it. I'm just going to be talking about these features and kind of giving my thoughts on, first of all, what's been added and also what is possibly going to be added here in the future of Stormworks. Now, if you want to go vote for yourself, the actual poll itself is over on the official Discord server. I will link it in the description of this video below. So if you want to go and make your own vote, definitely go and do it. But as I was saying earlier, we've already seen a whole bunch of features make their way into Stormworks, either in the experimental branch or in the stable public branch at the moment. We've seen modular engines being added in from the early days of concept all the way to today, where we've got them in experimental branch, and they are going to be the next major update here in Stormworks, from spreadable vehicle fire, which we already have in game, to new atmosphere and weather, which we've kind of got already here in game, to personal equipment, the like fire extinguishers, repair tools, binoculars, things like that, to new health mechanics where we can use the first aid equipment and defibrillator, to the new SAR career where we have new missions, procedural missions, etc., to game mode scripting with the new lure missions. We've all seen that already been added here in Stormworks version 1. And now going on to some possible new features here in Stormworks. Now the first poll or first thing that we can go and vote for is going to be weapons. Now the age-old argument here in Stormworks is, should we get weapons or we should not get weapons? I'm open to either way. Obviously the argument is this is a search and rescue game, there should not be weapons. The other argument on the other side of the table is it's search and rescue and they have weapons to defend themselves. So as I said, I don't mind these features being added. I'm happy for weapons to be added as long as it's more of a search and rescue themed style weapons. I don't want to see things like machine guns on fighter jets and bombs and things like that here in Stormworks. I don't think it fits in search and rescue. If there was a different version of Stormworks, yes, definitely. But in terms of the search and rescue version of Stormworks, I don't see, those types of weapons. Defense weapons on ships and things like that, yes, definitely. I think that's a great idea. So as I'm on the fence, I'm open to either idea, but I'd love to hear your comments in the video description as always. The next one, and we've already seen this, a couple of these actually already announced before, is the first one is sales. Sales, I think, does have its place here in Stormworks, definitely inside the search and rescue type of gameplay. I think sales would, definitely fit in. I don't know how they would implement this, to be honest, because I guess they would have to have different size sails that you can go and place in your creations, or maybe it could be that the sail just goes and renders in. You place the end pieces and then it builds the sail for you, similar to like how the tracks work in game at the moment, where you place the different parts of your track and then it builds when you spawn the vehicle and it actually builds the track around those areas. So something like that with sails, where you go and put down where your mast is and you put down where your endpoint is and it builds around that. So I guess that's how they would do sails. I'm not too sure, but you guys let me know in the comments below what you think about that. The next thing is steam engines and nuclear reactors. Now I'm bundling this into the same feature, for me at least, for me, they are both things that we would use to have power in our creations. Now, yeah, I can see steam engines being great for some types of ships, and I can also see nuclear reactors being really good for submarines. My major thought here is, how does this fit into the search and rescue gameplay of Stormworks? I think it does. I think this could be added in, and there wouldn't be too much of an issue with it. However, I think that should go on the back burner. That shouldn't be an important feature that needs to come to Stormworks anytime soon. That's my opinion on it. The next one we have is Arctic Icebreaking. Arctic Icebreaking, I think, definitely should be a feature. You can imagine at the moment you go up to the Arctic, you just have to avoid the icebergs. But can you imagine going up to the Arctic and trying to do missions and the sea is frozen around one of the areas where you need to get to? You now need to break through the ice with your creation, which means your creation needs to have a tough hull. So I can definitely see this being added into Stormworks, and I think it would really change a lot of things and make it really cool. The next one we have is Decorative Components. Decorative Components is a big yes for me. I think anything that makes our creations more interesting, more real life, is a huge positive. One thing that I think will fit into Decorative Components is going to be new windows. I'd love to see new windows added here in Stormworks. It really, really does make our creations look much better. From the XML editing that we do now to make our windows, it definitely changes how we build here in Stormworks. So I would love to see windows added. And you guys let me know in the comments below. If you want to see windows added, comment with in capitals Windows. And let's see how many of you guys want to see new windows added here in Stormworks. The next feature is going to be fishing. Fishing, I definitely think, is something that we can add in here in Stormworks. I wouldn't specifically say individual fishing, where you would go and use a fishing rod. I would like to see more commercial fishing and possibly even missions built around fishing. So imagine you would have a mission where you would have to go and catch a big haul of fish. You need to build a fishing ship that has nets, for example. So that kind of thing I'd love to see in game. The next one is the Kraken. Shall we get the Kraken? Well, we've already got the Megalodon. The Megalodon is fun. It is fun. It doesn't really add much to the search and rescue game itself. So I can see the Kraken being added too as a different type of Meg, but is it necessary right now? Probably not. It's something fun. Maybe we could just add in for extra laugh, but I don't see it being a necessity right now. The next thing is space. I don't think this has any place to be here in Stormworks. As I said earlier with the weapons, this game is search and rescue. Yes, maybe having a expansion or a different version of the game where you would have space as the objective, definitely, 100% agree. I'd love to see it. But building it into the search and rescue theme of this game, no, I don't think it has any place to be here. That's my opinion, once again. The next thing is Runway Lights. For me, this seems like an easy feature. It seems like someone can just go and place a couple lights and we're done. So yeah, sure, why not? It's not going to take anything away from the game. It's going to add a very small amount of niceties to the game, as I'll say it. But it's not a big feature for me. It's just something small we would get possibly in like a small Friday update. The next thing is Pathfinding Api. Yes, I think this is going to be a cool feature. You can imagine you could then go and tell your NPCs to do things, or get them to lower a winch down, or get them to drive your boat for you. So I think this would really be cool. The next thing is AI planes, helicopters, and ships. At the moment here in Stormworks, it's a sandbox game. It's an empty world for you to go and do what you want. But that, at the same time, means it's an empty world. There is nothing around you. You're playing in single mode or career mode. It's just you. So having AI here in game, I think would be great. Whether you're out on a mission, you see a tanker go by that's delivering fuel, or you see a plane going above your head, going and landing at the airport island, I think this would add in. I'd like to see it being added very small amounts of AI in. Obviously, we want to keep an eye on performance, and I'll touch base on the performance thing later on, but I think AI would be a great idea. The next one is the flow thermal cameras. Yeah, I think this would be great. We already have night vision goggles, or binoculars, so I don't see why not. Why not adding this in? We also got IR on our cameras. I don't see why we shouldn't have this. It would be great, especially now while I'm doing the survival series, having a thermal camera where I can go and maybe point it on a ship and then see where the people are, so I can know where I need to get into that ship. I think that could be a really cool feature. So yeah, why not? Definitely add that in, maybe as a handheld item, or maybe as a node on the cameras that we can go and turn on and off if we want to. The next one is compressed air. Compressed air is something I think, yeah, we can get in Stormworks. I don't know particularly what we would want it for. I know a lot of things we could use it for. For example, our tires could use it. We could use it for building up pressure in, trains or something like that. So there's a lot of different ways we could use this. Possibly this is something that could get maybe added on with the modular engines, that we would see compressed air somewhere fitting into the modular engine update. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about the compressed air. Next thing is cooperative vehicle building. Yeah, I think this is a great feature where you could get your friends together, jump on a game, say, guys, we need to build a boat. You all jump in and you start building it together. I definitely think that would be a really cool feature where you can actually see other people building on the same vehicle live with you. I think that would be a really, really cool feature. But once again, is it something that we need here in Stormworks right now today? I don't think so. But once again, that's just my opinion. The next one is going to be component modding. Now, I'm not too sure what specifically they are referring to with component modding. I'm guessing what they're referring to is that you can go and take, for example, a standard engine, and then you could redesign it. You could maybe change where the nodes are, you can change maybe the performance of it, and you could possibly change what it looks like. That's what I think what they refer to is component modding, maybe adding your own type of skins onto it. I don't think they're referring to having a full modding support, and I think obviously a few players might be upset about that, but who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see what they think, what they have in mind for the component modding here in Stormworks. And that brings me on to the last feature. Well, it's not really a feature. It's the last thing we can vote on is for there to be no more features and just bug fixes. I think this is probably something I would vote for before anything else. You probably think, well, why? Why would you do that? Stormworks version 1 as it stands now is great. It's got tons of features. It's got so many cool things in it. But at the same time, I think a lot of those features need to be ironed out, if that's the word I can use. We take, for example, missions. We went and got the new scripting. Amazing. Love it. But only if you know how to script Lua. For everyone else here in game doesn't know how to use Lua, no one can build missions. Before version 1, we had simple UI to build missions. That got removed. For me, that's a feature removal. Why make something simple and then go and add something take it away and add something that's more complicated? I love the idea of Lua scripting, and I think that should stay. At the same time, I think we need to have some easy to use user interface that you can go and build missions with. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments below. Do you guys want to see the old UI added back in? Maybe some more UI on top of that to get some of the new cool features of the scripting built into that UI? I think that is another important thing that needs to be fixed. There's other things that also need to be fixed here, I think, in Stormworks. Multiplayer is one of them. Multiplayer just isn't what it is. It works. It does. Okay, it does work. It's just not a smooth experience. That's my opinion. Once again, I'll refer to this, I've mentioned this plenty of times over the last few years. I am not a developer. Okay, I don't represent them in any way. Yes, I am the main Stormworks YouTuber, but in no way do I actually work for them, and I have no actual control of what we get here in Stormworks. These are my opinions of what we have here in Stormworks. And I presume that hopefully I represent most of the community with my opinions here. But that pretty much covers all of the features. Once again, you can go vote for them here in the official. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these features. What would you vote for? And what do you want to see here in the future of Stormworks? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I hope you have enjoyed this video and found it some entertaining and informative as always. And we'll see you in the next one.